Welcome to Conclave. Um, Today we'll be looking at the employee relations and communications, which is another vital part of running a successful organization. And I know it's going to be something that will help us do a whole lot of work, get things done right. I've met great men, I've met people, I've met wonderful ideas. But the greatest challenge is, how do you communicate this idea? Yes. How do you communicate this idea? How do you tell people about this brilliant idea? How do you, sell this idea to people? How do you make them to believe in this idea, work with you, make it happen, and all and all and all? I usually hear people, the younger ones, especially the entrepreneurs, they'll tell you, my challenge is just to raise money. Yes, yes, it's a challenge. But the reality is, how are you sure that is what you need to just to raise money? Most times, it's not just how to raise the money, it's how to communicate on raising the money. And they will do a whole lot of things and all that. So, in all, whether you're an employee or an employer, business person, all and all, you want to talk to your stakeholders, you want to talk to anybody. How do you communicate? How do you communicate? I know communication is a class on its own. It has its own, you know, teaching and all that. But looking at this uh, relative part, which is employee uh, relations and communication. Question is, how do you communicate? Now, thriving organizations recognize the importance of using people's ideas. Please underline this. The word there is thriving. They are not struggling. They are dominating. They are not trying to start. They are not at the conception stage. They are not at the startup stage. They are not, they are already at the established stage. They are already at the expansion stage. They are already at the maturity stage. They are traveling. They're thriving. They are in charge. They're dominating. And they said here, they use ideas, people's ideas and energy to provide a competitive edge. Please underline this. While managers are eager to gain, retain, and build employee commitments, these are these are facts. These are facts. These are facts. Let me move it further. I love this so much. Organization life cycle theory. It has helped me in so many ways. It says Advanced Organizational Life Theory by Cameron and Watson says the theory which characterizes organizational development from formation. It means that for your organization to run, there's a formation stage, and this formation stage, it has multiple layers of stages on inside it. So it's not just formation. Under formation, there are a number of them, steps, stage that are there. You must pass through them. You now have growth stage. You have also multiples under it. You have maturity stage, additional multiples under it. You have decline stage, and then before the death phase. All these phases happen in organizations. But I'm not teaching this today. I'm not discussing this today. However, the most and where I will always appreciate you stay is growth phase. Growth to maturity, maturity to growth. Just dancing between growth and maturity is a different teaching on its own. While product life cycle starts from introduction, growth, maturity, and the decline. All this, all this, all this depends on one particular set of people. Say the driving forces, the driving force in all these stages, in all these phases is the nature of workforce. And who are the workforce? The human being. The nature of workforce, the human being. Now, at the maturity stage, at the maturity phase, the organization cannot continue to grow or survive if there is no organizational structure that supports human resource creativity, innovation, teamwork, and high performance, which will withstand pressure from competitors. Would there be competitors? Yes, and yes, and yes. So if you understand this definition very well, you will know that you will not play with communication. You may have the best of human to work with, the best of workforce. HR must have brought in the best of workforce. But how are you communicating the vision? How are you communicating the vision? How are you communicating the mission? How are you communicating the values? How are you communicating the objectives, the goals, the action plans that need to be implemented? Extremely important. Extremely important. How it works, whether managed by human resources or as a function in their own right. Employee relations and communications are increasingly sophisticated. That's simple truth. Communicating with human being is wonderful. Rather than just relying on face-to-face talks and word of mouth, successful firms use a range of communication tools to help people understand the business goals, their contribution to the result. So it's not about them understanding, you also do what their contribution to the entire system. Now, for those of us that into education, you and I know that when you are teaching, there are over 10 ways of teaching. I mean, in a class, 10 different ways of teaching. 10. And you must find a way to at least use at least 4. At least that you did not use like 4, 5 for you to communicate. If you just use one way, it means that you're going to lose at least 70% of your class, 70% of your audience. As simple as that. So communication is very, very important. Is enough to have an idea, beautiful. But the reality is, you don't understand it. Can you pass it down? In particular, leaders no longer send only one-way messages, but use interactive media, such as video conferencing, yes, like what we are doing today. In turn, this has paved way for effective remote working. Yes, the effectiveness of the communication of organization gives way for remote working. And that's bringing me to this. In the next 5 years, yes, go and write it down. We will not have people doing the regular 8 to 5 work. It will be very, very low. Very, very few people that will be doing it. The generation you will find yourself, the generation we will find ourselves, we prefer to work remotely. Even when they are looking at your face. I mean, they are not in another town, they are with you there. But they will prefer to work remotely. And how do I mean? They prefer to work in a system where you give them work. This work, you do it in 30 minutes and go and do whatever you want to do. So that's the kind of people you have. So get ready to have a set of staff that the ones that maintain the culture of, staying with you from morning to evening and all that, working with you for 24 hours, and another set of staff that will only work for 1 hour. This one will work for 1 hour, and they prefer to work for you for 1 or 2 hours, and they will move to other places to work. Just get ready for that, especially for those of us in Africa. Yes. So the traditional 8 to 5 is going to, the number of people doing 8 to 5 will reduce in time to come. And communication speaks on that. So taking it forward, workers can use intranet or online collaboration tools such as Slack and to share knowledge, but they may still opt to meet in formal settings, such as committee meetings and forums. No, at that point, commitment comes in, engagement and involvement comes in, awareness and the understanding contact, using like email and rest of them to discuss. Please, in any format you're doing, make sure there's a commitment, make sure there's engagement, make sure there's an awareness and awareness and understanding. Very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Commitment, engagement and involvement, awareness and understanding. Then consistently contact. Let's move on. The art of communication. Now, this is an example. Just this is an example we want to use. A company is established weekly. A company is establishing weekly employee forums to facilitate communication. Yes, this is very, very key. Weekly forum is very, very key. That is very, very important. Use it. Yes, to facilitate communication and build trust throughout the business, to strengthen employee awareness, engagement, and their commitment to the idea. Various media are used. Yes, from email to webinar and discussion. Managers increasingly focus on collaboration rather than just impart information. That's simple truth. That's simple truth. Let's go further. Now, in many countries, employee communication used to focus on structured industrial relations, managed by HR. The regular, communication using your organogram and all that. Yes. Now, employee relations are now based more on trust and building strong relationship. I'll repeat myself. Before, it's more of just communication based on the structure, organogram. But now we are no longer looking at structure. No, we're no longer looking at who is the boss. We're not looking at employee relations, employee communication based on trust and building what strong relationship. Now, many firms create a formal work committee or employee forum naturally, just to make sure that this relationship is built very, very strong. Very, very important. Then they allow representatives from across the business to share and generate ideas for improving performance. Like what happened to Nokia? If Nokia had these communications, well in place, Nokia wouldn't have been where they are today. That's the simple truth. Were they communicated? Yes, but they don't have, but they don't give room for ideas to be shared. Even when the engineers came with ideas, they swept under their feet. That's simple truth. So listen to them. I know most of us will know about other people's money. No, it's not just about other people's money. We don't really need money to get all these things done. Discussions. That's reality. Discussions. Encourage discussions on vision changes, plans for the businesses. Encourage it. Let it happen all the time, regularly. Recognize the value of employees. Very, 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 very important. Recognize their value. The more you do it, the more they want to bring in more into the system. Today's case study is John Lewis organization. Yeah, the John Lewis chain of department stores in the UK is famous for his John Lewis now, for his unique employee owned structure. Yes, I love it. In which every worker is a partner in the business. It has a number of employee communication policies. Number one, Gazette employees can send letters directly to management through the weekly Gazette. Yes. They have that capacity. Managers publish their response in the Gazette for all to read. Yes, every week. I've worked with during my days in the bank with an MD that will come into the branch, not stay in head office and be writing letters, come into the branch and shake people down to the cleaner, security. He won't even know he's coming. You just step in. Just step in. You just step in. You just step in. Communication. Partnership council made up of 58 elected partners from across the business. The council meets several times a year. Yes, the chair and directors report to the council, which can remove the chair. Yes. Now, forum elected by employees on a 3-year basis. Forum representatives serve to reflect the view of the partners in a specific region. Now, community or business area. This is how powerful this is. How is your communication set? How do you set up your communication? How do you communicate in your organization? Very, very important. Very, very important. You see the steps they took. You can at your time do more research on John Lewis. Do more research on it. How they structured employee own structure. They made employee they took up the structure on their own. It's deliberate. That's the era we are in now. Very, very important. So let's see how communication works. Let's look at this. This can be a guide for you. Very, very important. Create awareness. That's where it started from. If you look at the arrow, create awareness. The purpose of employee forums is explained at a company-wide video conference. That's the first thing. Create the awareness. Let there be, video conference, town hall meeting, and the rest of it. From there, you move on. If you see the connection, follow the line, this line in between. You say, aid understanding. Once that the conference, town hall meeting have been held, it aid understanding, not this one, somebody interpreting what someone has said. No, you heard it directly by yourself. Now, resources placed on the company intranet details how employee forum will work. First of all, they were attended the meeting. Then more aiding resources have been given to them. They move to the third level, stimulate positive perception. It helps them to accept it. They are the one that contributed. Their ideas have been, they contributed and ensure that those ideas have been implemented, have been, being used. They will accept that it's their own. So an inspirational seminar illustrates the benefits of the new forums. Then the fourth one talk about adapt and share. Employee attend forums and then share their opinion on Twitter and Slacks, so as it can be any platform. So they feel involved and collaborate with management. This is where the whole game changes, where they feel involved. Where they feel involved. Now, establish practice. A company-wide off-site day, shows employees how forum have changed their working practices. Do you understand? A company-wide off-site day. This is one of the things they said they want, and it was implemented. Then let's move to the last one: reinforcement and internalize. Regular face-to-face update shows employee how forum have made a difference. These are the things they requested for, and see how it's been implemented, and they will be there. They will be the one enforcing it. They'll be the one enforcing it. They'll be the one enforcing it. I will stop here so that we can bring in our contribution. Our next class will be on project management, still under human resources. So, what are your contributions? What are your take home? Let's discuss that. We don't have much time. What are your contributions? What are your take homes? Contributions, take homes. Employees, communication. Employees, communication. The floor is ours. What are you in? Good. Go ahead, ma'am.
Morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
The most important thing in organization is communication.
Yeah.
When there is no communication, the objective, the goals are not being passed on or misunderstood.
Mm, mm,
Communication can never be emphasized. It
mm,
is very important. You also give the staff a sense of belonging. It gives them direction. It gives them something to look forward to.
mm.
But there's some organizations, especially the senior management, they feel too big to interact with other people. There's something you just mentioned. That while you're in the bank, the MD comes to speak, have a handshake with
Yeah.
people in the branch,
Mm,
spot checks. You
yeah.
see, this act can transform your organization from 1 to 10
Yeah.
within a short period.
You're right.
Give them a sense of belonging. Have
Yeah.
a way to interact with them one on one. Don't just ask about the office
Mm.
and the work. Also ask about their welfare.
Yeah.
Ask about their home. Ask about their personal interests, their goals, what they want to become in the next 5 years. This is the key, and this is a secret. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Dr. Ju. Dr. Ju, I always appreciate your contributions. Dr. Ju is an expert. What I mean, expert in human resource management. She's a global figure when it comes to human resources. So, in case if you have anything in human resources, you can always reach out to her. She's an expert at the global level. Anything in human resource, just reach out to her. Anything, HR. Just is part of our team. Can reach out to her anytime, any day. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome. 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 You're welcome, ma. Wow. Wow. Okay. Who else, please? Who else? Who else? Good. Go ahead.
Okay, from my own view, I believe that communication helps the management to discover their weaknesses that they
Mm,
overlook.
mm, mm,
Because
mm,
there are many things staffs we see they will not talk because management is not saying anything.
mm,
But when they communicate, they can be able to see the loopholes that if they look into, it will speed up growth of the
mm,
organization.
mm,
Another thing is that when there is proper communication, there can be some uh, replacements and changes.
mm,
The ability to know where staff have his expertise and where he can deliver well. Because a staff may be employed in one position, but there's another position that, like communication, they'll discover he can do well. And if given room, how it will honestly speed the productivity and also give a good result. Another point I think also is that when there's proper communication, the staff can sell the company well to the outside world.
yeah.
Because of that sense of belonging, they can boldly have this stakeholder mentality to sell the company well and attract more profit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. So go ahead, sir.
Yes, after looking at this, what I call it, the diagram we put there, I think that one of the places where I've found so many of us to have difficulty, I mean, leadership is what they call, where you wrote established practices. That is
Mm,
a company is worldwide having a worldwide offsite so that the employee will see the implementation of what the credits.
yes.
The employees will see I found out that most of the time there's adoption of share. All these things are being created,
Mm,
especially in Africa. They are being created, they are being done.
mm,
But for the people to see what they are doing working for them,
yeah.
having a time to look at this, what to put to practice, I think that is where uh, the management will find a way to make sure to this to happen regularly.
Mm,
many meetings where we discuss and what we are going to do. It is said we have meetings upon meeting. It is said we are going to implement this. We are going to play. It is implemented. We see it, but we don't come to see where we are having a time to be told about it, that this is working and it has worked, and appreciated for what we have done, that we can do and not better. And that's where I notice. I'm just talking about a notice, and I believe that this aspect of having the practice established, that is having an offsite where we can see what we implemented working, having a what do you call it, having a sort of a pre-session for it to make people to know it's working is very vital. The upper aside where reinforcing and internalizing, those are two aspects that I believe that if we work very well can help very well. Because it's easy to say we should stand together and do it. Then what about what we have done? Even when we have done it, we see it in the system. What about we ourselves seeing it face to face and being told us? And that where communication gets better and better. Well done, sir.
That's beautiful, sir. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So it's not just about saying it, writing it. When it's been implemented, let it also be passed down again. That this thing you people suggested, see, we are doing it, and they see it happen, and all that. Then that ownership comes in, like the last person also said. That ownership comes in. In fact, the three of you are just in sequential, just breaking it down in sequential. I really, 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 really love that. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Beautiful for me. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead, sir. Sir Arrange, go ahead. Obadike. Sir Arrange Obadike, go ahead.
Good morning.
You're welcome,
Good morning,
sir.
all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. My contribution is, anytime we think about communication, I think the end point of communication is the feedback.
Yeah.
What you get after the communication, what you are intend to achieve. But I find out that most times, just like my colleagues here, they have pointed out, don't act on the feedbacks, and later on we now regret. Even let me use the Bible principle. Jesus once asked disciples, what do people say, or who do they say I am? That's a feedback. He wanted a communication, and this thing we are doing, are we doing it right? Are we current? What do they say? Because they know they have, and I think this we marry with the vision and the mission of an organization. If you have maybe a vision for where you want to go, from time to time you need to go back and check, are we still aligning with the goals and the vision of the organization, and what are people saying about this? You think you made mention of Nokia. They 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 were updated of the next phase of telecommunication or the gadgets, but they
Go ahead.
later now we now migrate before they knew it taking over. Android has taken over before they now acted on that. So feedback, getting feedback and acting on the feedback, because the feedback is the base of communication. You are communicating to somebody, okay, the person now replied and said, this is, I think, this is how we do it, and we'll take over the market, and we'll be known, this, that. I think with that, it gives even the people you are working with confidence that, oh, our guy listens. So, and but what makes you a leader is that you listen. When you listen, not just listening, you act on what you. If you say, okay, this, okay, we'll do this, do that, and I think that will show them that they you, and you have subscribed to what they said. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Get the feedback, implement. Get the feedback, implement. Get the feedback, implement. That's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful contribution. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we have one more contribution? One more contribution. One more take home. One more take home. Please. One more take home so I can call it a day. One more take home. The day is broken already for those in Nigeria. One more take home. Okay. Betty, what's your take home? You're among the first that joined the class. What's your take home? Okay. Okay. Madam Dorothy, what's your take home, please? Madam Dorothy, what's your take home?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Welcome.
Okay, sir. I've come to realize that always human resource um is one of the best topics for me under your leadership, and I've learned a lot about it. That we need the people as much as we want success in our businesses or our organizations. Now, on this communication today, I'm taking home the fact that I should be able to carry along everyone under my organization. I'm going to include even as least as the security
Yeah,
because they have the first contact with our customers or
sure.
our clients. So
Yeah.
if we're able to listen to their ideas, I think that it will add value to our outcome in organizations or businesses. So that's for me today. I'll try to carry along all our employees so that they can also see themselves as part of the organization. Thank you so much for all you do, sir. Thank you.
Ma. Thank you, ma. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, Betty, good morning. I can see you. You're welcome. Okay, Betty said, communication from what you thought is to be proactive, yeah, with the information you get. Beautiful. Proactive with the information you get. Good, good, good. Uzamaka, what happened? You've not been saying anything. Can I hear your voice, please?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
My take home actually is the fact that each business is supposed to get to that growth to
beautiful.
maturity
Yes,
stage.
yes.
So, if I'm running a business, I just need to work towards maintaining it. And in order for my business to retain that level, that is where I need to also work with employees and innovative ones at that.
Yeah.
It is true that AI is actually growing and moving very fast, but it is also true that they can never be humans and they cannot act or think or relate like humans.
Simple.
For instance, if you have a facial conversation or a voice note, it's always having a human feeling compared to text message.
Yeah.
Text message has never had a human face, no matter how it is being written. You'll find that you can easily tell someone, get out. And the person takes it lightly. But just type it in a message. It will bring down World War III. So you cannot override human abilities and human interface comparing it to AI. So there is no how human employment would eradicate. It's going to be a very difficult situation or environment, and that is my take home.
Thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are dimensions of this. Like you said, in communication, we speak 10%. Our body language is 80%. Then the other 10% for other non-verbal communications. And you can imagine that no matter what AI will give us, that communication is important. Human beings are important in organization. Wow. Okay, Betty also said that communication is also is value feedback. Okay, value the feedback when communicated. Yes, in particular issues. Good. Yes, please value it. Whatever it is, value it. All right, all right, all right. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet again next week by God's grace, and we'll be taking on project management. Yes, as regards to human resources. Yes, project management as regards to human resources, and it's going to take a long while. Yeah, it's going to take a longer period in getting this done. Thank you. Go and have a wonderful week. Implement what you've learned and get ready to learn more. As we also, for those of us that are in Enugu and outside Enugu, our yearly conference is coming up on the 6th of December. At the same time, registration for next year's section is on for the diploma, advanced diploma, PGD, MBA, consulting, doctorate, just name them. They are all coming up. So please tell someone who will tell someone and register for the classes. We are building a community of management consultants that will operate at the global level. And nothing short of that. Nothing short of that. Thank you. Remain productive. See you next week.